It's time for Living Your Purpose, a motivational and inspirational podcast with Peter and Joyce Nielsen.
Hey everybody, welcome to Living Your Purpose podcast. I'm Peter Nielsen with my lovely wife Joyce, and we are just soaking in the last bits of this summer. And I know that Labor Day just passed, and for a lot of us that means taking the boat out of the water, and for people in the Midwest of the country as well as the East Coast, they're getting ready to take the boats out. And people in California and Florida and Texas, they don't know even what we're talking about. Like closing the pool, taking the boat out. It's like one person said to me from Texas, one of our Zervita Nation people, they were like, why do you close the pool? I was like, it's actually because the water, when it goes below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, actually freezes.
Yeah. And all the falling leaves clog up.
Oh my golly,
it's
all
beautiful,
these
beautiful changes.
Yes.
And fall is approaching. I'm sad to see the summer go, but it is a beautiful time of the season here in the Midwest.
Yeah, we are in September here, and the kids just went back to school, and I know that in the South, in the Southwest as well, Southeast, the schools have been in play for the last couple of weeks, but we are just excited about a new chapter, a new season. And for all you people that are watching on YouTube, if you do like this content, just press the subscribe button below. If you're listening on Apple, iTunes or Spotify or SoundCloud or on social media, if you do like this, subscribe so that we just get to know you, and we want to answer your questions. We want to sow into you. And today is, I like this topic because a lot of people ask me questions, and the questions are usually, Peter, how did you do this? Or how did you do this? Or how could I do this? And why am I not succeeding? And I know that you have some questions from people all over the country, but I think it's a great topic because a lot of people are afraid to make maneuvers because they feel stuck.
They do. A lot of people that, they have their vision board, they're on a plan, they have a system going, they're good people, smart people, but yet you kind of find yourself getting in a rut and having a hard time either breaking old patterns or embracing the change that's coming forward into their lives.
And I think on that note is what I will say, which comes to my mind immediately, is that a man or a woman that doesn't have a vision for their future will always go back to their past. Mm-hmm. So my first question to each...
one will be given to you.
Right. You'll be cornered.
You don't create your own, one will be given to you.
Right. And you don't want to be in that situation. And I think that for people that are going through that and you feel stuck, these are just temporary circumstances. And one of the most beautiful things that I've learned in my own life is that change is inevitable. And for many people that feel stuck, you need to look at this as an opportunity, as a new chapter. And with change comes growth. With growth comes more hope. With more hope, you're living more a purpose-filled life. On what we're talking about here, why we even have this show on. So I think your first question is just spot on, that yes, I know the most intelligent people, we're all born with seeds of greatness. We're all born with smarts and with a great brain and with a strong body and a will and a soul. But yet, why do so many people fail? And I think I actually have a course coming up called Invisible Obstacles, but a lot of the circumstances of the past, the betrayals, the hurts, the divorce, the foreclosures, the sickness, those are all ingredients that gets people stuck. And the invisible obstacles, in my opinion, that you need to get through is whether it's forgiveness, to trust again, to relinquish that emotional debt. That's going to get you unstuck to even think about changing, because most people get cozy and change is very difficult.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think most people find it so difficult to embrace change in their lives?
Yeah. I think, even myself, a lot of times God will bless me and I'm like, this is amazing. I feel like I'm living a slice of heaven on earth. And then what ends up happening is I want to hold on to that. But the blessings of 5 years ago are not necessarily what our Creator wants for us today. He wants us to constantly evolve. Everything changes. Nothing lasts other than the love that we have for each other that's eternal. Everything changes.
Oh my gosh.
Our age changes.
Our age.
We evolve.
Technology
Technology changes.
Jobs. Food choices.
Prices. The way we feel physically.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, I could literally do an hour television show on this. But I think that, to get back to your question, is even when God has blessed me and I wanted to stay there, I was just like, you ever get to a place, I know this is a crazy analogy, but you ever get to a place where you're like, you go for a haircut, they cut your hair too short. And then all of a sudden, you get to a place where you look in the mirror, you're like, perfect length, I wish I could press a button and stop it growing and forever it looking like that. I've done that. I mean, it's in my head, it's in my mind, I'm saying it. But the reason why I'm saying it is that it's constantly going to grow. It's constantly going to evolve. So, and it may even look better. It may look different, but better. So we need to accept that. And I was so comfortable in my black fuzzy slippers, I always say, but God, He nudged me. He wanted to bless me. And I wanted to just say, not now, I'm enjoying it, I'm good, I'm fine. But as long as we have breath, we have hope. And when we have hope, God wants to use us. He's given us a gift called life. And what we do with it is our gift back to Him. So if we just stay on our throne and we're building our kingdom and we're not worrying about what we're planning on doing for Him or the legacy that we could leave for our family, then we're missing the boat, so to speak. But speaking on that, I felt, though, that God was cornering me at one time and He wanted me to get out of my comfort zone. See, all the growth, all the true change and growth is in the valley, not on the mountaintops. And that's where you learn, that's where you grow. And when you grow, you truly get closer to your God-given destiny. If you're not growing, as I always say, you're dead on arrival, you just don't know it. You just don't know it. You're existing. You're doing life on the sidelines. You're not taking risks. But when I got out of my black fuzzy slippers and I was cornered, as you mentioned a moment ago, where I just wanted to stay status quo. I financially was really good. I felt good. I felt like I accomplished so much, but God wanted to use me more. And He said, listen, you're on this beautiful cruise liner here, but this is not what I have in store for you. I have that amazing cruise liner over there, but you got to get in the water and swim to it. I took a little mini fit. I was a little defiant. I was really wrestling with God. I had a good night's sleep. And then I got up and I was like, okay, God, I don't have all the answers, but I'm all yours. And it was more than I could ever imagine. So change can be a fabulous thing, walking into that new chapter.
It can be, and I think a lot of people, what holds us back is the fear of the unknown and what is out there and what can happen if you let go of what is comfortable to you to embrace what is coming the opportunities coming for you. And so many of those opportunities can pass you by if you're trying to hold on to the past because you're scared to learn a new skill or to embrace something that you're not sure what the outcome may be, and it could be a blessing that you're missing out on.
And you know, I mean, what you're saying, you know, you're hitting it all, because fear is not a spirit of our Creator. It's just not. And if you constantly try to control with your own might things that are happening in your life, and you don't have the faith to dream again, you don't have the faith to believe again, then you're going to get either left in the past or you're going to stay stuck. And so my encouragement to each and every one of you is to make that change. And if I could add to one thing, is that there's nothing more powerful than a changed mind. You could change your address, your hairstyle, you could change the clothes, you can change literally the location and state where you live. And some people get so foolish, they want to change, they change their spouse over and over again. And what they don't realize is that you could change everything on the outside, but if you don't change from the inside out, your belief system, your soul, the spirit that dwells in you, nothing will change. And if people do that, they will be where they desire to be years ago. But are we not always looking to be edified? And we ask a million people, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this idea? And a lot of people have said to me, you're crazy, man. That's a stupid idea.
Right, fulfilling your dreams at any age. But it does take, let's talk about that more, it takes commitment. It takes seeing a vision beyond what you know is here and aligning those steps and making the commitment to make that change to get to where you want to be.
I love that word, commitment, and I'm going to modify it a little. And for people that have heard me speak throughout the world, you know what's coming. Commitment is so important. You know, I always say, if you want something bad enough, you need to be very consistent. If you want to keep that after you get it, you need to be persistent. But when it comes to commitment, I would even change that word to covenant. And you may say, why? When someone makes a commitment, whether it's to a diet or whether it's in a relationship, it's almost like an agreement. And an agreement, a contractual agreement in business, is for services rendered. And if those services aren't rendered, then that contract, that agreement, that commitment becomes null and void. But if you take a biblical word like covenant, which to me, and biblically it means there is no plan B, failure is not an option. See, because if you have a plan B on your dream board, on your whiteboard, you're probably, if you get into an emergency mode, are going to use it. I rather do life without a power chute. I rather do life without a safety net, because a lot of times in life, whether it's what I've done or what I've seen people do, sometimes you don't get a second chance. Sometimes your first impression is all you're going to ever get. When I do television on Peter's Principles, or when I'm on stage live, I get more enthusiasm. I tie more into the audience when I get only one take, one shot. If I could do it 40 times, I'm not as excited, I'm not as focused, I'm not as in the moment. So in life, as you evolve, you need to make sure that you're dreaming again. You need to make sure that you don't have that plan B. And if you're looking to make that commitment, make a covenant between you and your Creator. And make that covenant so that failure is not an option. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to put in the sweat equity, I'm going to burn the midnight oil to basically get that done. And a lot of people don't do that.
Well, I think because it's scary for a lot of people to think, oh my gosh, like if I want to change my diet and I don't like the way I've been feeling, I know it's eating dairy, for example, but there's no, or giving up alcohol, but there's no way I can see my entire life living dairy or alcohol free. So this is where my opinion maybe differs on yours a little bit, because for those people that are maybe too afraid to just dive right into it, maybe baby steps is more of an approach where you can commit to, for the next 2 weeks, I'm just gonna cut out this in my diet, or I'm going to every day read 10 pages of a book, or whatever that agreement is with yourself. Sometimes if you embrace it in baby steps and chunks, I commit to the next 2 weeks, I commit to the next 30 days, I commit to the next year where I'm really going to focus in and learn the skill, and then I'll reassess and see where I want to go from there. That can also work.
I couldn't agree with you more. I always say that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step at a time, one good meal at a time, one good workout at a time. There's no way people would be overwhelmed if all of a sudden, you know, you're going to cold turkey all of this stuff and it's going to feel like jail. and that's why there's not a whole lot of Mr. or Mrs. Americas or universes, because it's a lot of discipline. But I agree with you. That's why even when I say cardiovascular exercise, you should be doing, say, 45 to 60 minutes, 5 out of 7 consecutive days. I also say you don't have to do that 45 to 60 minutes all in one session. I mean, we just walked 5 miles, you know, and it took us, well, I don't even know, maybe what, an hour, 45 minutes. And the point is that we didn't just get up and do that immediately. We baby stepped, as you said. We did 2 miles, you know, a few times. We did 3 miles, we did 4 miles, and we did 7 miles. So that is a great suggestion for an application on you could use in any area of your life to wean into wellness, to wean into that commitment, because we're very visual, you know, humans are very visual. So when you start seeing things or start feeling stronger or having more energy, you're going to want more, and it's going to work in your favor. I mean, it really, really is.
And it is keeping that covenant, as you were talking about, with God or the higher being, where you're promising to not deny yourself the opportunities, the chances, the enlightenment, or even the possibility of failure. You are making the commitment and that covenant where you're gonna give it a try at least, and then you can reassess and tweak it as need be as you go along, but you're at least taking those steps forward and not letting your fear hold yourself back from all the things that are
most people I agree with you. Most people will fail because, guess why most people fail? Because they never get started. It's true. They talk about it, they may plan for it.
Sometimes the idea of something is too intimidating.
It's overwhelming.
Where you're like, I can't even begin to go there, so I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to fail, because I don't think I can do it.
Right.
And that's the wrong mindset.
That's totally the wrong mindset. And that's why I'll go back to say, when it comes to change, there's nothing more powerful than a changed mind. And if you truly get your mind out of the gutter, you will get your health out of the gutter, your family out of the gutter, your finances out of the gutter. You're just going to live a different life, because you know, medical science has even done stuff where if you believe in something, you embody it. If you embody it, you become it. So you need to believe your own stuff. If you're trying to raise money, if you're trying to, you know, get into the relationship, the love of your life, you need to believe that you're more than worthy. You need to believe that you're a great partner. You need to believe that you're a great producer in your occupation. If you're trying to sell something, even a product, and you don't take it, and you're not a product of the product, you're not a walking, talking billboard, people are going to say, or if they ask you a question about it and you don't know, it's going to truly just break down their belief system and you. So you need to believe in yourself, embody it, live that.
And take those extra steps
Yeah.
to gain that knowledge, to gain that skill set, to gain that confidence in yourself so you do believe in yourself.
Yeah. You know, and the last thing that I would love to talk about is so many people have dreams, and I know that was one of the questions that, you know, people will talk about is a lot of people, you know, they have dreams and then those dreams go just sideways. And what I say to everyone is dare to believe again. Dare to dream again. I mean, I dare to believe again because I've had doctors at a very early age diagnosed with an incurable condition tell me that I wouldn't live past 20. I needed to outthink that, and I needed to dare to believe that they were wrong and that it was my body and that I wanted to do everything I can to live every day on planet Earth. I needed to dare to believe again when I was going through a terrible childhood that was pretty abusive with an alcoholic father. I needed to dare to believe again when I went through an unbearable divorce that I wouldn't wish on anybody. I thought that the sun burnt out. I needed to dare to believe again. But many of us, we have dreams as a child, and then, you know, we may dream about being an astronaut, a rock star, a singer, a teacher. I mean, and then we trade these childhood dreams for the American dream. We know where we want to live, an area or a subdivision that we want to live in, a color car that should be in our driveway, how much money we need to live, how many kids we want to have, and the person that we want to marry, we know their type and the look. And then no one dreams about being clinically depressed at 26. No one dreams about being divorced at 50. No one dreams about literally being diagnosed at 35 with cancer. That's when you need to dig deep. That's when you need to truly speak life into yourself and know that it's all possible, but you need to believe in you. That's how you're going to change. That's how you're going to catapult. Use all the negative lowlights in your life as rocket fuel to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, and no matter what your age, I'm 46, he's 63, and we have new dreams every day of what we want to accomplish in the next year, the next 5 years, what we want to do together, the difference or legacy we want to leave, and it's constantly changing and evolving and growing. It doesn't matter what your age is, they just grow and evolve as you do, and it would be a wasted day to give up on something that was important to you if you chose to
And I'm gonna, if I could add on
live
that,
in your fear.
Yes.
Or
you know, I was single for like 16, 18 years, and when you partner, when you get married to the right person, they're going to enhance, they're going to solidify, they're going to complement your life and your dreams, your belief system. It just empowers you. So when you are with, if you're dating someone now, or if you're thinking about getting married to someone, what you need to ask yourself, is this person going to grow with me? Is this person hungry to grow?
or at least support your growth,
Yes.
even if you're growing as two individuals separately, but together.
Yeah, because a lot of times people grow apart because they're not supportive. Maybe because they're insecure. Maybe because they're just stuck and they don't have the vision of the future. But I think that change is inevitable. I think that it's so important if I could say this, you and I, even on our walks, it's beautiful to speak life into yourself, into your partner, into your relationship, into your children, because words create life or death. So you need to put your shoulders back, your chest out, and you need to say, I'm more than worthy. I'm a winner. I'm going to beat this addiction. I'm going to be cured of this illness. That's the way that you're going to evolve and change in a positive. You could also do it in a negative and say, this marriage sucks. I'm never going to lose weight. I'm never going to be able to stop smoking. And you're going to live a very different life than on the other side of that coin, you know? I mean, it's so important. And even us together for the last few years, the change, and even I've seen myself, is the thing that I love about even our marriage is that when you come together with the right person, you end up, if you need to, heal one another, love one another, grow together. So these are all wonderful things that happen with change. And you need to believe again, and you need to know that if you really want something bad enough, you need to have a vision and see it. If you don't have a vision, as I said before, you'll go back to your old past.
Yeah. And for people that are looking to change spiritually, nutritionally, you can go to transformpeter.com, and we'll be able to help you out with that there too.
Yeah, and we have, I have a couple of great courses, some for digestive health, and for people that are having digestive health problems, as well as just wonderful 12-week courses, mind, body, and spirit. And you could always catch us on Astound TV network on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time throughout the country, and worldwide on Roku, finding DBTV on Saturdays and Sundays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We just hope that you walk into the season open-minded, willing to accept change, embrace it, get excited about it, grow with it, and you may be mind-boggled on where God is taking you, which is, in my opinion, going to be closer to your destiny, and that's what we all want. That's how you and I and everyone will live a purposeful life. So if you have any questions, you could email us at peter@peternielsen.com. You can find us on social media at Peter and Nielsen, and we just appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great, great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye. I battle an incurable disease every day. It empowers me to help people like you tap into your full potential.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's a burn.
I want everyone to have the tools and the right mindset to be the best version of themselves. Nutrition, exercise, inspirational stories to motivate and educate you. Please join me for Peter's Principles.